Just doing my thing.
Back to doing our thing once again. Thank you for tuning into the Voice of C38 podcast. I am Brendan Wyatt. Full studio today as we're trying a few things. Having a special guest, the managing editor of Burgundy Wave, Abbie Mood.
Hello.
Matt joining us as always.
You guys ever get
Almost
deja vu?
always. A little bit.
A little bit?
Just a small
A
amount.
little bit. All right.
And even though you can't see him on camera, say hi, John.
Hey, how's it going?
He's the video guy. He's behind the camera.
Yep.
And of course, via the Skype, the drunken monk.
Greetings.
All right, he's there and paying attention. Okay, so in our starting 11, we will reflect back briefly on the little tie at Houston, or not at Houston,
Little
against
tie.
Houston at home. If it was a tie at Houston, that'd be better than a tie at home, just saying. And
Just
then,
blame the weather then.
Yeah, just a little bit. But then that would also explain resting certain guys. But anyway, before we get off on a wrong kind of tangent, after we look at the Houston game, we'll cut off for a bit, and you guys will get a chance to hear from the junior board members or those who are running, so you can kind of have an idea who to vote for. And then we'll speculate and kind of...
Are we allowed to give our picks for junior board?
I don't think it really matters. I mean, they wouldn't be
Oh.
official votes.
I know, but I can officially endorse some people.
You could.
You can?
Bye, Austin. Keep it going. We're
That's
not doing this
all
a third time.
right.
He'll call back.
It works for me.
He'll call
All
back.
right, he's done. He's gone. All right. That was Austin's contribution.
Does
We are
everyone notice
moving
how
on.
happy we all got just now?
And how quiet it got. There was that little bit of
No hum.
yeah, just a bit. So yeah. Anyway, we could endorse certain junior members, but
They all suck. No, I'm kidding. They're all great.
it won't affect the vote in any way. I'm sure. Just to
You underestimate my influence.
we'll see. I guess we're gonna have to get
Your Twitter
Clearly.
influence.
That's right. He who controls Twitter controls the world.
all right, and then we'll pause for Austin
That's the
to
sound of
reconvene.
Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still going. We're not stopping.
Yeah,
Hey, how's it going?
stuff happened.
All right. And so then we will speculate as to who the Rapids could play in the playoffs, the semifinal legs. And their first game is away.
And we're going to try to
Yes.
explain the playoffs, right?
We can try to explain. Now, I don't know how well
I've done a
it
little
makes
bit of
sense.
research. I've got a little
Okay.
bit of...
Instead of know thy enemy, it's explain thy playoffs.
Instead of know thy enemy, it's conspiracy theories about the playoffs, yes.
All right, I like it. We all know that we like a good conspiracy theory.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's fun to talk about.
If I may, regarding Houston, I got to take issue with Burgundy Wave for saying it wasn't a gimme. I mean, that should have been a gimme, Abby.
Well, it should have been. I'm not disagreeing with you that it should have been. But I think part of the problem was that maybe perhaps the Rapids thought that it was a gimme too, and that's why we saw what we saw in the first half. I also think that Houston's defense had the best game of the season. Not that I've seen all of their games, but I mean, they were playing pretty well, I thought. And Houston got results their last 5 away games. So it's not like they'd really been playing terribly despite their position at the bottom of the table.
They were just a little
So-
too late to the prom, huh? They
I
were kind of
think
Seattle,
so.
but 3 months late.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
They aren't Portland on the road, but
Right.
If only the tables were turned, we had Houston and Portland at home to end it out. Maybe that would have been different.
I mean, it's funny how the scheduling can kind of get to you. So they may have had a good defensive game, but do you really necessarily feel like the Rapids didn't start the game with their foot to the floor?
No, I think the first half was not a good half for the Rapids. I don't think they really went out terribly aggressively like we saw in the second half. I thought they came out much more aggressive, and you could tell like they were like, well, we need to win this game. We're at home. It's our last game. So I think you saw a little bit more of that intensity in the second half, and the first half was just like, well, it's Houston. Let's just go out and see what happens. And
Again,
we
as
saw what happened.
as evidenced by the subs, which we saw 2 of them in the first 65, I think was the second one.
It was before
It was
70
earlier than
for sure.
earlier
Oh,
than
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
I think it was right after the goal, so it was like 68th minute,
Okay.
67th minute was Jermaine Jones, I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
That's somewhere in there. It's before the 88th minute,
Well,
certainly.
Since you brought it up,
Yeah.
what do we feel, or what are our thoughts on Jermaine's 20 minutes of play?
I thought he was all right. I mean, especially considering that he had been out for 14 weeks. I mean, I think he maybe overestimated his speed a little bit a couple times, but I mean, he was going for it and he didn't look like he was nervous about tearing his knee or messing anything up. So, I mean, I thought he looked all right.
No,
personally.
I did see him take a pill, and they rub a lot of the magic sauce up on him. So he got good and numb before he went in. But that's, do you feel like
old age.
Do you feel like he was being targeted at all? Did you happen to? I mean, what may have led to the yellow card? Was that warranted too? Just a little bit of a just necessary caution of like, this isn't how I want to let the game go by the referee. I don't know. I'm nitpicking here.
I think he draws that kind of attention because as soon as he went in, he got fouled basically, and
Yeah.
then he continued to draw fouls, and then he got his own.
Right.
But I mean, I think that's just kind of one of the benefits of having him on the field is that he draws attention, and people know that he's going to play aggressively. So I think they probably are a little more aggressive towards him as well.
It works for me. That kind of answers my
He's
question.
he's always drawn fouls,
Mm-hmm.
and to be that guy, he's always in there mixing it up too. He's always getting and giving both ways. That's kind of why we love him. He's our goon. He's what we need.
He's got character. Good
He has character.
And it was also brought up on some of the discussion stuff about clutch. Would you say that he's the most clutch as far as our roster?
I'm not sure I know what that means.
I think that, and I'll tread lightly on this because I've seen like what the general fan base believes, and I think we might be putting a little too much stock on Jermaine Jones to come and be like the savior of the playoffs. I mean, I think the team is going to do what they're going to do with or without him. I think we are better with him, but I don't think he's going to like win the cup for us.
It's not going to be like the.
Disagree.
See, there we go.
There's the help.
It's
Fight.
I don't
Fight.
think that Jones is as good as. I think the problem is most people think Jones is an amazing player, and he's a really, really good player. But you could tell in this game he's a little bit slower than he used to be. He was getting beaten to the ball a few times, and that might be coming off of injury. But what he brings isn't just his talent. I think what he brings is a spark that the team follows, which helps the rest of our offense, which makes Gashi a better player, which makes Doyle a better player. It makes these other players be better than they're doing. And I think that's where he creates that offensive push, is that he brings something, just whatever his leadership or just people's belief in him being that good of a player, that creates the other players to be really good, which I think is what's going to cause us to do really well in the playoffs with him on the field.
I don't know. I just had this thought: is he the Jesus instead of Gashi?
Bite your tongue.
I mean, what was it about him that helped?
Jesus was only down for 3 days.
Not 3 months. That's that you can't beat.
But
that.
how active were their calendars back then?
It was just a thought of mine because as you're talking about kind of the role he brings to when he's on the field, like obviously there is some sort of dynamic change. Just look what happened when he was with New England. Like New England was nothing. Then he gets there and they slowly get better, and then make a run all the way to the finals. So at some point you have to sit there and acknowledge Jermaine Jones had a lot to do with that, or at least have to do with that, like 50-50 half. To credit that whole run that they made. So at what point would we have to? I mean, that's obviously where our expectations come of him now, and from what we saw in the 8 games that he did play, he influenced the game 7 out of those 8 times that I can remember for sure. So he definitely can change the game when he's in there. And that is somebody that we've kind of been looking for, and we dogged Papa for it over, a handful of episodes.
I was going to say, back to Deja Vu, we used to say all that about Papa.
So, I think that's the difference between Papa and Jones, is that Jones could get it done when he's on the pitch, or at least it seemed like he has been.
They're not the same kind of player, though.
That's
Papa
true.
needs time and space.
Yeah, Papa's
It may be
lazy
a
and
different
Jones
system.
smart.
He's a ballerina. He's graceful, nimble.
And we completely got ourselves derailed from the Houston game, but I guess we're pretty much right around that 11 minutes. Final thoughts about...
Finish
Say so.
where it's done with. Meh.
All right, well, it just... There were certain delays and stuff because, someone's Skyping. But anyway, final thoughts.
I was the one that forgot to push record. I don't know.
That was in the last episode.
I mean, the back half was definitely exciting, for sure. And just seeing the plays, all the follow-throughs into the goals, keeping it, the pressure, in the offensive end, it was just great.
So the second half of the
feel
game was really kind of
Oh, yeah.
what you want to see more of looking forward as far as what the Rapids can do and create opportunities and finish a game off. I mean, we were down.
And Badgie got doiled. I mean, it was just being up there alone again and again and again. Badgie's great, but he can't do it all by himself. That fucking lone striker, it's just getting us every time.
I feel that Jones and Hairston actually looked really good, but you could tell that they were both off a step. You could tell their touch was a little bit off. Jones especially, he was being a workhorse, and you could tell he had the passion there, but you could tell he hadn't touched the field with the team competitively like that in months. So hopefully he's shooken off those cobwebs in the 20, 30 minutes he played, and we'll get to see him back to full strength in the playoffs.
Abbie?
Somebody's gonna say.
eyes on
personally I'd be surprised if we saw him get too many minutes in the first couple games, because if it was up to him, obviously if it was up to us too, he would have more game experience, because I have a feeling that he was more sore than maybe he anticipated after that game based on his comments after the game. But at the same time, he's a guy who wants to start and then get taken out when he's tired. And that's not necessarily, if Pablo starts him, he's going to expect him to go 88 minutes, till he does his first sub. I just don't know. I don't know what we can expect from him in the playoffs.
No, I have to agree with you, because as I was listening to Austin and what you had to say, I feel like coming off of the kind of injury he's coming off of, he needs more than just that 20 minutes to shake off that rust, so to speak. I think that you nailed it. I think that hopefully, depending on who we play and how we play them, we get past them, because in order to see more of Jones, we need to see more of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
And
But do you rest him the first game, or do you rest him the second game? Because for me, I guess I would say rest him the first game when we're away, and then let him start that home game. It gives him a little bit longer to recuperate, and we're stronger at home. And what we really want to do there is keep them from beating us.
Especially if it's at LA or Seattle. Either one of those being turf. You just don't even want to play the guy in general. You would hope that we could at least walk away with a point or 0-0, no goals against, so that way it all becomes down to what happens at Dick's. That's what you kind of want to hope for, almost regardless, just based on that. But you're right. I think if you're going to sit Jones for at some point, you want it to be this first game, and then just let him get kind of the same thing. Get him 20 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on how the game plays itself out. If you think he can go a little longer than that, yeah, drop him in the 60th, 65th minute if we need it. But at this point, I think no matter who we play, we're going to really kind of want to hope for that 0-0 tie and let the result happen here at home. I have a feeling that that's how they're going to want to play it. I don't think they're going to end up going on the road, starting their first game on the offensive. I just don't see it happening, especially not from the defensive-minded coach that we have.
And if we end up in Seattle, I'm not even sure you give Jones minutes. Turf is terrible, especially on knees. Like, at that point, do you really go, okay, or maybe you give him like 10 minutes, but I don't know if you risk that. He's been out for months.
Not if the game is going to like I said. I mean, if I think if Pablo feels like he's got the game and they don't have to worry about someone getting scored on and they can end it with zeros, I don't. You're right. I don't know if Jones would even see some minutes, which would kind of suck because then you'd want to hope that he's ready to go for a lot longer and maybe, like Abbie said, start and then you pull him at 70 minutes, and no matter what, Jones is going to be mad getting pulled. Even if he's ready and he can't do it anymore, he's not going to be happy getting pulled. It's just you can see that kind of competitor in him.
Well, and I don't think, you can't start him. If Houston was his only experience until the next playoff, like he doesn't play the next game and then they come back at home, like you can't start him.
Oh, you can't.
No,
you shouldn't start him.
No, you're absolutely right. So, at that point, maybe we'll change it up and let you hear from some of the potential junior board members.
So we're interviewing all of the junior board members, and our first junior board member nominee is Jared Stevenson.
Thank you.
So why are you running for the junior board, sir?
I'm running for the junior board because I would like to see what C38 can become. I've experienced other supporters groups at other games like Orlando City. I've experienced one of them. I've watched what they've done, and I've liked what I saw. So I would like to incorporate just better ideas, make it just a better environment for everybody, and just make it more fun. And
so what would be your contribution? What do you have in mind already as far as that, based on your answer there?
For me, it would be more, I just want to make it a more family-friendly environment. Just get everybody involved and create better communication. I know we have two sections where supporters sit. I know sometimes cheers can get mixed up or just mistimed, and just want to do better on that.
So you would see yourself as maybe the guy who can help organize some things and get things done?
Yeah, I definitely want to help organize, just things get more streamlined and more professional. I would like to get that professional look, but at the same time just keep that family-friendly feeling.
So do you have any background as far as captaining a team or any sort of organizational skills when it comes to working with other members?
My experience would probably working the line at Chipotle. Rolling those burritos, got to keep everybody in line.
Hey, got to keep it humble, man. Anything that you want to say as far as promoting yourself and getting your name out there?
I hope to gain your vote, and I want to just continue the legacy of C38. I like what I've seen and want to continue that.
Now, what section do you sit in? I just want to do a shout out.
I sit in 108.
Being the only board or junior board member, I believe, that sits in 108.
Right.
Anything else you want to give a shout out to? Do you think, what does keep fighting mean to you? I want to go there on the junior board.
Keep fighting is, for me, doing whatever you can to get the result you want. You want to win, you got to fight as hard as you can for it. And I want to make C38 the best it can be, and I will keep fighting to do that.
I like that answer. That's a good answer, man. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, listen.
Don't get confused. This is the other half. This is Shane. So, what are you running for? What motivates you? What gets you going? Why do you want to be a part of this?
For me, I love the culture of C38. I love the energy. I love I love the spirit of being a fan of the Burgundy Boys. I personally want to run because I want us as C38 to do more community outreach. I want us to do, I know a good team building one is like Habitat for Humanity. I wanted to be able to show the Denver community that, not only are we a fan of the Rapids, but we're a fan of Denver and Colorado as a whole, and just kind of show everybody that, we're a great group of people who are not just focused on the game, but all of Denver. And and Colorado.
So you want to be on the Orr Foundation, which I don't know if everybody knows about it, too much about it, but it's our nonprofit side. So it's actually our side that deals with all of our nonprofits. We bought a couple things out here before. We do some events. Our foot golf event was for a nonprofit. So that's where you want to go, is towards the Orr Foundation.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, the Orr Foundation.
Do you see that as your strength and what you could bring to the board?
I believe so. Gosh, that's a really good question. Personally, in the past, I've done some community stuff in the past. In those type of environments, for some reason, I kind of shine when it comes to helping others or doing, community outreach. I'm a more introverted person, but when you get me in that kind of role, for some reason, I really, really want to do my best, and I kind of want to put that toward, helping C38.
Great. So, what do you want to say to the viewers as far as vote for me and this is what I can bring, aside from obviously the answer you just gave us?
Wow, that's a good question. What do I want to say? Really, if you'd like to see more community outreach with C38 on top of what we already do, vote for me. I really like to contribute to that. And go Rapids.
Awesome.
Hold on. What does keep fighting mean to you? Because I'm asking every junior board member what keep fighting means to them. In their questions.
Keep fighting. That speaks to me. Gosh, even if we're a point down, 2 points down, let's keep going. Gosh, what it means for everybody, keep fighting. If we're down 1, don't stop. Let's go. We're shield hunting right now. We can possibly get that today. So, fight till the skin on your knees break. Let's go.
All right. Well, thank you. That's Shane. On to the next one.
Yay!
Okay. So we have, of course, another junior board member nominee here.
Last name, right?
I can't, so I'm just going to call her Michaela. She can introduce her last name if she would like. So, why are you running for the junior board? What makes you have the passion to run for a leadership role in C38?
I love our tailgates, and I love everybody that I've met at them. I mean, it's one big happy family, which I'm sure everybody has said. I would just really like to bring that spirit outside of just our tailgate. So I think I can bring that with me and start events outside of just the tailgate. Let's meet up at local brews and talk about the game the night before or the week before, and let's just get really pumped about it.
What do you feel would be your best asset to being a part of the junior board?
Oh, that's an easy one. I'm a grade 9 certified referee, so I feel like I can bring the knowledge with me. Yay!
So it's footy knowledge that she's willing to bring. How about that?
Absolutely.
What would be your message to the voters as far as vote for me, this is what I have, besides the referee part of it?
I'm sassy, I'm snarky, I don't take no shit. I don't know if that word's even allowed to be said.
It is.
Oh, good.
You're on the Voice of C38, we curse a lot.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I bring a can-do attitude, and I'm just ready to bring all that to the table and bring one of the girls to the boys' table.
That was actually one of my next questions is if you got the position, you would be one of 2 girls on the board. How does that feel knowing that you're strong-willed and aren't afraid of the boys?
I mean, it's always fun being one of the guys, even as a girl. It's more fun being able to incorporate and talk and communicate with the opposite sex. Oh, no. But I don't know. I mean, we've all got the same passion. It's the same sport. Why can't we all just get along and have fun?
Perfect. So, in closing, what would be your message to the viewers and the voters as far as vote for me?
I'll bring tacos? Question mark?
All right. And lastly, what is...
It's my question. What does the keep fighting mantra mean to you?
The what?
The keep fighting mantra.
It means just keep going, win or lose. We got to be the best we can be. Even if we're in second to last place like last season, look where we are this season. Don't stop, keep going.
All right, that'll work. All right. On to the next. All right, so I'm with Donna Rogers. She's running with the junior board. We're going to ask her a few questions so you guys can get a little informative of who you're voting. So first of all, what encouraged you to run for the junior board?
I have been a soccer fan for years. We lived in England for 5 years and really loved the sport over there. We moved to Colorado in 2004. Our daughter's a soccer player, went to college on a scholarship. we started coming out to games in 2004. I was here at a game. Perry was having a lot of issues, so I just ran in and started helping. And then we started helping in every other game, and now for the past 2 years, I've been helping full-time, running on the pizzas, doing different things with the olive oil and the garlic and that pizza. That was my creation.
My wife loves that pizza.
Oh, awesome. So we like to help out. You know, we got a lot of vegetarians that come in. We like to help them out. I love working with the tailgate crew. I'd like to get involved with some other areas. Would love for people to come talk to me to see what they think we can improve and what they love about what we're doing right, because we like to know that people are appreciating what everybody does to make this successful for them. I drive all the way up from Colorado Springs for every single game, but you know, we love it. We love meeting the people. We love talking to everybody. It's so much fun. We've even invited in people that sit in 108 in our section that haven't been out to help for tailgates before. And now they're coming and they're helping out in the tailgates again to make it successful. We just love the community that we have here.
Okay, so what would be your biggest goal or ambition when bringing it to the junior board? What do you want to bring to the board?
I want to bring a voice for every single person that's a part of C38. I don't want to think because you're someone that comes out just to 1 or 2 games that you don't have a voice. If you have a suggestion, I want you to feel comfortable to come to me and make that suggestion so that we can take it to the senior board and see if we can make it happen. I mean, it may not happen, but at least we can get your voice heard.
All right, 2 more. What would be your message to the voters or the viewers as far as vote for me, this is what I can bring?
I can bring is I am you. I used to just come to a game every now and then. My daughter's a soccer player. We couldn't come to every single game, but we came to the games that we could. Get involved, talk to the people, be a part of it, and I can be your voice to do that.
Awesome. Here you go.
And my last question has nothing to do with the junior board. It has to do with the Keep Fighting mantra and what it means to you.
Okay, as I can tell you, I've been here since 2004. I was here when we won the MLS championship, and I have been at every game. I am a supporter, whether we're winning or whether we're losing. I will tell you, I literally cried when Marvell Wynn left our team because I thought he was a key person to our defense, but I'm here every game. That's my plea. I'm here. Win or lose, I'm a supporter.
Like it.
That's a good one. Thank you.
For spending time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Got to get back to making pizzas.
We're here with the Paul Crabb, running for junior board.
Yay, we sell out.
Well, give it to you.
So, in opening, what is your ambition as far as being a part of the junior board?
Well, I've been part of the Rapids family for 6 years now. My first game was a Houston game, as it is today. I've put my emotional support into this. I've put my actual support into this, being a capo for the last 3 years. And after all this, I think it's now my time to actually step up and be part of something more important. That's why I've decided to run for board.
So, as a capo, you've obviously had a voice. What kind of voice do you expect to bring to the junior board?
The voice I hope to bring is that someone who's actually been on the front line and wants to, has actually shown support for this team, and has been here through the good, the bad, and the ugly, particularly the ugly, especially the last 2 years, and wants to show us that that someone who actually who's been up here and put everything forward, can do this.
What would be your first goal as far as what you would bring to the table in the board meetings and whatnot? What are you pushing for?
Someone who actually truly has been an outsider is that people that have been on the board, and I have nothing against them, they're all that. They've been here forever, and they have their own way of wanting to do it. It's time to insert another voice who's never really, actually, in all reality, spoken out about anything. I don't have any problem with the way C38 is run, but it's time to get a new, fresh voice in here. My voice has been loud enough for the last 3 years. At this point, why not put my voice as actually something that will actually do something?
Perfect. So what would be your final message to the viewers and the voters as vote for me, Paul?
As one of the more front-forward faces of this group, one of the people you've seen all the time, take a look at me. You shouldn't, if you don't know me by now, hopefully I can be the best to you. I'll build a wall around Salt Lake City and Salt City United. You are paying for it. Believe me.
And then the last question has nothing to do with the junior board, is what does the Keep Fighting mantra mean to you?
After the last 2 years of of just nobody getting anything done, it just felt like we struggled. It was hard. And then this year, out of nowhere, we've come back and become the team we are today. If you asked me back in March, after the first match, where it just seemed like we struggled, there was no chemistry, I just prepared myself for today, thinking today, here the last day of the season, is that we had nothing to play for and we were just hoping not to embarrass ourselves. We are right now 90 minutes away from not only from keeping our space right now, we are 90 minutes away from winning Supporter Shield. This team has a fighting spirit that I have not seen since 2010, maybe even 2013, but this team has not given up since May. A couple speed bumps here and there, but that's football. And I think right now, going into November, it's going to take a lot to stop us. And I think, honestly, at this point, there's very little that's going to stop us from playing here in December at home under the lights for MLS Cup.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
So I'm here with Dr. Shea, who is a current junior board member and is now rerunning. So what do you want to do next year to affect C38?
Generally, discontinue the growth we've done so far this year. The leaps and bounds we've made the last, I'd say, 9 months has been exponentially just outstanding. We've reached out to a whole new group of people that otherwise wouldn't be here. I mean, this interview right now, I'm surrounded by at least, 500 people here right now, and it's a Sunday afternoon when American football's playing, so that shows you progress. But continue to build. I feel like, if I don't run for board, those little steps that aren't going to be there slowly disappear, and we want to keep building.
And what did you mainly focus on this year in your junior born campaign?
Generally, I don't do one thing. You see me as a capo. I essentially take charge of donations during tailgates as well, sell merch, TIFO design, TIFO setup, banner setup, and also tailgate crew, amongst other things, is running the outreach program for the Rapids Youth Soccer, which we did for the Riot Fest. So I've got my hands in a lot of jars, and that's the best way to kind of really help out. I feel like just taking one job with something this large not enough effect to it. You need to do a lot of different little things, and it's a bigger reach.
Now, do you have a plan after a second year on the junior board to maybe run for the senior board?
Absolutely. I wasn't honestly good. I thought about it with my move and stuff and work and everything else, not even doing junior board, but like I said, the growth we've made, I want to continue that. And so junior board for this next season and senior board after that. Yes, that is the goal, end game.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to get people to vote for you? As almost last statement. I have one more question after this one.
You know me. Do the right thing.
And then my last question has nothing to do with the junior board. I want to know what the keep fighting mantra means to you.
It's kind of perspectively, biased, but to be honest, as a generalization as a whole, never fucking giving up when you have that last little glimpse of, fuck it, I'm just gonna quit right now. No, keep going, dig deeper, and just don't stop, because it'll eventually end, and then you can rest. But never stop while that game's going. That 90 minutes plus stoppage time, you never fucking give up at all.
Thank you for running, and thank you for your year of service today.
Thank you.
So at this point, we can kind of speculate who we'll see.
Should we want to try to decipher the playoffs?
Yeah.
How the playoffs? I spent all day trying to come up with an idea of what I could talk about today, because I'm not the guy who knows soccer, in depth like you guys. So, just digging around. I don't know if you know, I do dabble in artificial intelligence. Look at that. He didn't know.
Yeah?
So, see? I do dabble in artificial intelligence. I spent all day coding, putting in data, and I haven't ran out of time to hear what came back, but just bear with me.
The 6 teams from each conference that finished the regular season with the most points qualify for the playoffs to bring the total field to 12 participants. The top 2 teams in each conference automatically qualify direct to the conference semifinals. When the field has been trimmed to 8 teams, 4 per conference, the knockout round winners are reseeded ahead of the conference semifinals based on regular season performance. The Colorado Rapids will face the Los Angeles Galaxy, or the winner of a contest between the Seattle Sounders and the Possum Trot Wizards. If Real Salt Lake should triumph over the Los Angeles Galaxy, they will be reseeded as the lowest seed team and therefore have to face Dallas. Providing all results fall as prognosticated, the remaining clubs not yet eliminated would then come die Sudeten, Kreisgerber, and Wortlich Spanvier and
Okay, I think I get it. Okay. Sorry, I guess what my data has returned is that the MLS playoff schedule is actually set up by the Enigma machine, the Nazi cryptograph machine back in World War II. So, I mean, I can't break that code. I don't know if anyone can.
I heard
Give it a
Beckerman's
shot.
break his leg. That's what I heard.
Yeah, so basically that means we would possibly play everybody but FSL.
So FSL's out. We can eliminate them.
At least right now.
As contenders.
Yeah, no matter what.
So our next game would be Sunday against To Be Determined, right? I mean, when this drops, we should say you might already know.
Right.
Depending on when you're listening to this.
So this is just for amusement at this point.
Because right now we don't know.
Right.
So we can't
could talk
fake
about
knowing.
Who would
I
we
would bet money that it's going to be LA.
I was going to say, who do you expect?
I think it's LA.
Because they're not losing.
I think RSL going into LA. LA's been
Not
too.
a chance.
Like that's harder than Houston coming to us and getting a tie. I mean.
All right, so yeah, we're all empty, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Abby.
Yeah, thank you again.
Thanks, Burgundy Wave.
Thank you.